Hello everybody, I am Joel and we are Silver Arrow Cars. I am standing with a car that is much different than the cars of today. In a world that we're now in, I think with collector cars and enthusiast cars, we're filled with special colors and paint to sample, hybrid technology, turbos. This is not that. This is our 2012 Mercedes AMG Black Series C63 two-door coupe, and it is different than a C63 in so many ways. But what I was leading to is that I believe so many manufacturers in today's world, these are a beautiful representation of what was happening in the European and basically performance car market in the mid 2010 to 2000 whatever. This seems to be a sweet spot. This is where big displacement, 6.2 liter, naturally aspirated, hand-built, forged internals V8 European muscle is built with a very analog car in comparison to today's modern cars. Big horsepower, rear-wheel drive, big aggressive looks, and from the AMG division of Mercedes-Benz. It is very different from AMG cars of today, and of course being a Black Series, it is extremely low production. The AMG division building a hand-built motor with forged internals and then a whole myriad of specialty and upgraded components that were unique to the Black Series. 800 built for the entire world, so North America got a small chunk of that at 173. 40 for Canada, that's where this car came from, and then 132 for the USA market. Both cars are almost identical, obviously different readout for the analog cluster, miles per hour versus kilometers an hour, but both California emissions compliant. Interesting to state as well as of the 173 cars or 172 cars that are North American cars, you can't go find one of those European cars and bring it into North America. They are not compliant and will not be for a number of years in the USA. So if you want one of these and then you're in the USA, you're gonna need to find one that was either delivered to Canada or that was delivered to the USA. So what made the Black Series different? Well, we know that the Black Series started with the SLK in I think 08, and then it runs through even to today. Generally the Black Series is the end of the line for a certain model or product. That was certainly the case, or almost the case for the C63. I believe it ended production in 2015. These were 2012 and 2013 model year, but a lot of things on the car, both what you can see and what you cannot, were unique to the Black Series. I think when you compare that to some of the cars of today, again from modern manufacturers, some of these limited production cars are not massively different than some of the others. However, the Black Series and the C63 was. So what do you get in a Black Series? Well, you're probably already noticing the extra wide body. So the track on the car was increased. So the front track and the rear track, I believe 2 inches or so and 1.5 inches, 3 inches in the back and 1.5 inches on the front, wider wheels, wider tires. You can see these massive flares, which is iconic to most Black Series cars, both in the front and the rear. They got on a lightweight aluminum hood. Both the trunk and the hood are different. The hood, you'll see these big air intakes on the front of the hood. The lower fascia of the bumper has a massive chin spoiler that's like a park bench across the bottom, which is also carbon fiber. The Black Series received a carbon fiber exterior trim, which you'll see on the mirrors, the rear spoiler, the chin spoiler on the front. Looking at these wheels, beautiful forged wheels, unique to the Black Series as well, lightweight forged wheels, two-piece, very large two-piece rotors, massive 6-piston AMG brakes in the front and 4 in the rear, unique to the Black Series as well. The carbon fiber trim along the side of the rocker panels. Moving to the back, as I mentioned already, the rear carbon fiber spoiler, the diffuser around the exhaust in the rear, the wider rear bumper with the venting in the rear, Black Series badge on the back. A lot of exterior cues that marked the Black Series different than the normal C63. Horsepower and engine and driveline was also different in the Black Series over a normal C63. The engine borrowed a lot of parts from the SLS, so forged lightweight crank, connecting rods, pistons, and I'm probably missing something else. 510 horsepower, this is the highest horsepower you could receive in a C63 from Mercedes-Benz or Mercedes AMG. Of course, that engine, that naturally aspirated 6.2 liter, is hand-built by AMG. Limited slip rear differential with a wider track, as I mentioned, for the wider car. It uses the 7-speed speed shift by Mercedes AMG. And then I already mentioned the brakes. When you move into the interior, lot of trim and cues specific for the Black Series. So carbon fiber trim throughout, red accent stitching and contrast stitching in the seats, red seat belts front and rear. In this car specifically, it was optioned with the dual panel large sunroof with electronic shade. Very unique in its build and spec. Some of these cars you will see with some canards on the front and then a large wing mounted to the rear. This car has cleaner lines, in my opinion, without that, with still the same horsepower. I did miss one thing. I probably missed a couple, but I've missed one important thing, which is the coilovers in the Black Series are also different from the other models. This actually uses, it's a Mercedes branded unit, but it's built by KW. So it's got KW coilovers from the factory at all 4 corners. The car looks absolutely sinister, finished in obsidian black metallic. There was 53 cars finished in obsidian black metallic for the North American market during the 2 model year run. With the black wheels and the black interior, to me, they also made the cars in a pearl white and they made it in a red. To me, the black in a Black Series, and then, in my opinion, the look of it without the arrow on the front makes it an absolute sleeper. But when you really start picking up on the cues and you walk up to the car, you know you're looking at something very special. We purchased this car 2.5 years ago. The car came to us from its original owner. At the time, it had about 2,700 miles on it. Right now, it's just a turnover to 14,000 miles. We sold this car, actually we leased out this car to a very good customer of ours we've had for a number of years. We've sold him 300 SLs, SLSs, Ferraris, you name it. He's had them. We sent this car to him, we leased it out to him. He took it to his home in Malibu, and he's owned it and had it for almost the last 2 years in Malibu. It was routinely serviced both at Fletcher Jones and another service facility in California before it was brought back up to our showroom here in Victoria. When the car came back to us and he was done with it, that's when we sent it to, I believe it was Fletcher Jones Mercedes, but we sent it to Mercedes, had them go through it, do a full service, everything that was needed on the car. And then from there, it went to our friends at IM Detailing. They went through the car. When we sold it to him, and before it went back down, or before it went down to Malibu, we had the entire front end covered in PPF. That has now been removed. And the car is absolutely flawless all the way around it. I'm glad we did that and that he let us do that. But the exterior of the car is phenomenal, as well as the interior. It's just really incredible. So 14,000 miles up until 2.5 years ago, very low mileage, and it had about 2,600 miles on it. It is a Canadian cluster, so it does, the digital readout can be changed both from miles per hour to kilometers per hour. The analog is in kilometers, but a stunning car in absolutely incredible condition. Normally in these videos, I would walk you around and point out a blemish here and I'd point out a blemish there. And fortunately on this car, I don't really have any of that to show you. We've certainly got undersides to show you that show or demonstrate how incredibly clean the car is. And then I think through the rest of this video, or probably throughout the video you've already been watching, you'll see clips from the interior and the exterior just showing how beautiful this limited production Black Series is. Just some thoughts to wrap this video up and the presentation of this Black Series. But I truly think that these are currently undervalued and probably underappreciated. We're in this time right now where I think cars from the late 2000s and the early 2010s, I wouldn't say they're slipping through the cracks, but they're I think, in a time where they're going to start to be recognized more for what they were. That's a time where we had 997 turbos. That's when the end of the manual started. That's in the early 2010s. That is the end of the naturally aspirated large displacement AMG motors. They switched and started going to the dual, the twin turbo V8s. And just, it was a time where technology had come into the cars and you have a backup camera, you've got paddle shift, you've got Bluetooth, you've got some of that technology, but the cars in today's view, in my eyes, still had kind of the heritage and the nostalgia of analog cars, big horsepower, rear wheel drive, not, you know, they still had computers, but not a massive amount of computers that we have in today's cars. So you get a car that is modern enough and not modern enough, in my view, and it's this really cool sweet spot. So it's also this period in time where, you know, I think some people are picking up on that and they're purchasing the cars, but I don't think the light has shone as bright as it will on cars from this era. And I think the C63, with its really low production of 800 worldwide and 173 for North America, truly makes it a really special car. Those are my thoughts. You can have your own. Love to hear about it in the comments. Please, and if I'm wrong on something, which there's a very strong chance that I am, please correct me. So this is a car we are selling from our location here in British Columbia, Canada. We're running this on Bring a Trailer. We own it, and if you have any questions or if you're in this area you'd like to come see it, please do. Reach out, you can call us, talk to me. I'm Joel. And we are good to ship this anywhere in the world. If this needs to go to the Middle East, if this needs to go back to Europe, anywhere, we're well suited to handle that for you. And it is not a rare thing. We can handle air freight and we can handle ocean, it doesn't matter. Or perhaps it's staying in North America. Either or, please reach out. We are Silver Arrow Cars. This is our 2012 AMG C63 Black Series, one of 53 in the North American market in Obsidian Black Metallic, and this is one of 800 built for the world.